everyone is busy fighting the wrong enemy. You see TikToks blaming boomers for hoarding all the houses. You see articles blaming millennials for killing the diamond industry. But while everyone is screaming at each other, there is a ghost generation in the middle that has quietly captured more wealth per capita than almost anyone realizes. They are Generation X. They don't flash their cash on Instagram like Gen Z. They don't demand pensions like boomers. They are the latchkey kids who grew up coming home to empty houses, and that childhood trauma created a specific financial psychology that has made them the most resilient and arguably the richest demographic in the room. If you want to understand why you feel poor, you need to stop looking at the loud generations and start studying the silent one. Here is the psychology of Gen X money. To understand their bank accounts, you have to understand their childhood. Gen X was the first generation where having two working parents became the norm. They came home alone. They cooked their own dinner. They fixed their own problems because no one was coming to save them. Psychologically, this created what I call Latchkey Economics. See, boomers trust institutions. They trust the company pension. They trust the government. Millennials and Gen Z trust the community or the crowd. Gen X trusts nobody. They were the guinea pigs for the 401k experiment. They were the first generation told, hey, that pension your dad had? Yeah, we canceled that. Good luck in the stock market. This didn't make them victims, it made them mercenaries. They invest with a level of detachment that millennials struggle with. They don't invest in companies because they believe in the mission. They invest because the numbers on the spreadsheet make sense. It is cold, calculated self-reliance. Here is where the data gets weird. If you look at consumer spending, Gen X is often carrying the most debt. But if you look at assets, they are holding the keys to the kingdom. Why the contradiction? Because Gen X mastered the art of stealth wealth. They came of age during the greed is good 80s, but they hit their prime working years during the dot-com crash and the 2008 housing crisis. They saw people in Ferraris lose everything overnight. The lesson they learned? Flashy money is vulnerable money. So your Gen X boss might drive a 7-year-old Toyota and wear generic jeans, but he has 3 rental properties and a maxed-out brokerage account. They treat money like a survival tool, not a status symbol. While Gen Z is trying to look rich, Gen X is trying to be rich, so they never have to rely on a boss again. Now, before you get jealous, you need to understand the cost. Psychologists call Gen X the sandwich generation. Right now, they're the only generation simultaneously paying for their boomer parents' nursing homes and their Gen Z kids' college tuition. This is the fuel for their obsession. They aren't working 60 hours a week because they love the hustle culture. They're working that hard because they're the financial engine for 3 separate generations. This pressure creates a high-functioning anxiety. They don't panic sell when the market drops. They just work harder. They are the financial shock absorbers of the economy. They take the hit so their parents and kids don't have to. So what can you learn from the latchkey generation? First, adopt their cynicism. Stop waiting for the government, your company, or the crypto revolution to save you. Assume no one is coming. Second, embrace stealth wealth. The goal of money is freedom, not signaling. If your car payment is higher than your monthly investment contribution, you are doing it wrong. Gen X figured out a long time ago that the person with the most toys usually has the most debt, while the person with the quietest mouth usually has the biggest bank account. There's a reason Gen X is overlooked. It's because they want to be. They're playing a different game than the rest of us. I want to know, do you have a Gen X parent or mentor who fits this description? The one who drives a beater car but somehow owns 2 houses? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to understand the psychology behind why you spend money the way you do, click this video right here. I'll see you there.